Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stuart.
Alright.
How you doing, guys?
I'm good, you?
Good. Hibs are back.
They are back, mate. Don't
Back.
tap a league for you, well, do.
I know. It's
Few hours.
It's a fun 18 hours or whatever it was. But yeah, so we're going to obviously chat about the Killie game, look ahead to the Livi game today. But how was the rest of your weekend, guys? Like I say, watched the Hibs game on Saturday, but how was the rest of your weekend?
It was good. I went and watched the FA Cup final, and then I done my first ever TikTok dance on Saturday night.
Alright.
Because I'd had a bit of a bevy. Because Hibs had won. I was like, fuck it.
So you do a TikTok dance on Saturday night, and then TikTok's banned in America on Sunday. I don't think there's a coincidence there, Dave.
Is it a good band?
Oh, that's talking about Trump's threatening to ban it.
Alright. I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
Nah. But it was my mate's wee lassie who was like, oh, do you want to do these dances? And that, because I'd had a drink and Hibs had won, I was feeling pretty merry. So I done that.
Good stuff. What about your Sunday? Let's say watching the Celtic game and stuff.
Saturday, Sunday. I watched the Celtic game and just chilled, mate. Played some bowls, to be fair. And then I just chilled because last day of my holiday before I'm back to work. So working the day. So that was good fun.
Is that the first time you've been back at bowls in a while?
Nah. I've been back a few times. So obviously the rules and that are all kind of like all other place, isn't they?
Aye.
Like you kind of do what you normally do, but all the old biddies are staying well. So
Good to hear.
right.
Talk about old biddies. How you getting on, Stuart?
I'm fine, mate. When you guys left the pub, I just had a sleep. I think that was the drink, though. When the guys left, seen them out, shut the gate, put the lock on.
Fell asleep.
I went back up to the bar and I had a couple of other gins, and then I just lay there and fell asleep. And then Adele woke me up and your dinner's ready. I had a wee bit of a hangover. But it was good because the Hibs won, that was the main thing. And then just watched the Celtic game yesterday.
It's quite an enjoyable game, actually. From like I say, you always try to, when I'm watching a game of football, I try to forget who I'm watching, just sort of sit back and enjoy it. And it was an enjoyable game. Hamilton, like you have sort of said before we started recording, although they didn't have much possession, they played quite well. Although they conceded 5 goals, it's just sort of quite scary that they done all right, but Celtic still demolished them.
Probably why Celtic scored 5 though, because Hamilton were quite attacking. Like they tried to be to go for it a wee bit, which was different to what teams will maybe do. If they go to Parkhead, teams might go and just accept they might lose 2 or 3, but try and keep it tight. You know what I mean? But Hamilton were like, no, we're keeping this a go.
Well, as we said, they had eight corners.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the corner count on my bets. It was like, what's going on here? But no, I thought Hamilton played well, but that just shows how good Celtic are. That's the thing.
Aye. So let's get chatting about the Hibs Killie game then. Get starting off with that. Obviously, first game back of the season. Great to have Hibs back. A win, 2-1 win. Who would have called it? Me. I called it. I said 2-1. Hibs starting off the went for the starting anyway. There was a few formation changes throughout the 90 minutes, but started with the 3-5-2. Gogic in front of the 3 defenders. Newell and Allan in front of him. Right on the right. That's going to be tricky throughout the season. And Doig on the left, and then Nisbet and Boyle up top. Something I'm a genius. I'd been calling for it all pre-season. Jack Ross obviously listens to the pod. How you doing, Jack? So what, Dave? When you see the lineup, what was your kind of reaction?
I was happy with it. There was a bit of deliberation of how it was actually going to set up, but it kind of went how we thought it would. So, when they changed anything, to be honest, that's exactly the team I would have picked. I was happy I went with Doig as well.
Yeah.
Especially his 2 million punt in my fantasy football, so it's not bad for that.
Stuart, what your reaction to the lineup?
Well, clever, 3-5-2. That's what Hibs talk have been talking about that. Especially me and Stephen have been talking about that for a long time.
Aye.
Play 3-5-2, and I thought it was good for the first 45 minutes. And well, we're going to talk about a few things in the second half, but I thought he got it correct, and really, Kilmarnock never done anything the first half, did they?
And I think, like I say, we're going to get into this a bit more the game. But like I say, one thing I noticed is it gives you a bit of fluidity of that as well, because obviously Doig can step back to left back, which we did after we were 1-0 up, and then Boyle went out to the right went out to the left. That's going to get tricky. McGinn sort of stepped over and went to the back 4, and then we sort of played the 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-3-3, whatever it was, with the 2 wingers and this bit up top on his own. And I was sitting there thinking, why have we changed it? You know, we're winning, we're playing well, and then Boyle scored from it on the right hand side. So what do I care about football? But I guess, like say, it's good to have lots of players in the team. Obviously, Boyle can play up top or out on the right. Newell can play 3 or 4 positions. Doy can play wing back or left back or even centre back. McGinn the same. Wright can play wing back or on either side. So having players that fluidity, that flexibility, that what's the word I'm looking for?
No, you
Begins with
nailed
a
it.
C.
Huh?
Begins with a C.
A C.
I
A
don't
word
know.
that begins with
I'll
a C.
come back to me. But yeah, so what Dave, what do you think about that, being able to sort of change it that quickly with the team?
Well, it's good. It makes it hard to play against. Because how do you set up when a manager can be like, right, they might do 4 different things this game. So if you look at it for that aspect, it makes us hard to play against.
Yeah. And I mean, Boyle obviously scored the opening goal. Although he did move out to the right, what was your thoughts on Boyle up top and the time he was there?
Well, that's as we've said before. We spoke about it on Saturday. Him and Nisbet up top, the two of them are fast, and that must be a hard task to actually defend against. Now we just watched the highlights back the other now, and you seen the movement with the two of them there. Nisbet getting the ball in the first goal, and then playing it to Boyle. And the two of them were running at the defence. Now, Killie's back 4 they were at sea. Because the two of them, that's what you want. I'm not a defender, but if I was a defender, I wouldn't want, my two guys that were marking. They're crossing over, they've got pace, and I think that's a good thing for us this year. Hopefully Boyle's going to still be here, but to have 2 forwards that are going to be running at defence.
The thing I liked about Boyle up top was there was times where he was sort of on the last man. It was in between the fullback and the centre back, and it's like, and I think at times he's still deciding what he's trying to do. So the defenders can't predict what he's going to do, and it's like, is he going to drift out right to his more natural position and then try to pick up the ball out there, or is he just going to do that and then fake that and then create a bit of space between the centre back and left back, and then take advantage of that? And there was a couple of times where he was doing that. Scott Allan, a couple of overweighted passes, obviously not with the goal, but there was a few instances where he was looking really dangerous up top.
Well, if you watch Boyle in the first goal, he actually burrowed back the way because Kilmarnock were sort of, they were coming high line up the park, and he burrowed, whereas maybe a year, 2 years ago, he was getting caught offsides like that, and he burrowed his learning, and he made that run brilliant for the ball getting put through to him. So big difference with Boyle up top.
And Nisbet, which we've kind of hinted at, done really well with the goal. He sort of chipped it over the defender a bit to sort of done a 180, controlled it, burst forward a bit, and then really sort of calmed down, and great vision to read Boyle's run before playing the pass.
Yeah, and it's good. It shows a kind of a level of intelligence, I suppose, that after how long, like 2 weeks together, they're already linking up really quite well, to be fair, because it was exactly where Boyle was gone, so in a nice weighted body, and it just made it easy for Boyle to do then what he had done, his first touch.
Very composed with his goal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he done that last season against Aberdeen, the wee dinker, the keeper. It's just a nice wee clip, and that looked good though. And his finish, Stuart and me were talking about this. Whether he means to put it in that corner or whether he pulled it a wee bit, I don't know.
To be fair, the Kilmarnock defender came in and actually went in for a tackle. So I think he went to just make sure he got the hit away.
The shot away.
And it went in there because I just didn't think he put it in that corner.
Harsh though, because good finish.
Oh, it was a fantastic
finish.
finish.
But I think
it's just I wonder if it's like I say, if it's a choice, if he's went for that corner and then hit it and went, oh, maybe I shouldn't have went for that corner, the defender's there and it's went in, or whether he sort of missed it, because like, the obvious choice was to go for the other side, that open goal, that's where the defender was.
Yeah.
But it went in, so who cares?
I wish we had
was a good finish. Like.
I wish we had all the cameras like down in the English Premiership just to see how close that was to getting in, because every time I look at it, I think it's going to hit the side netting. I was that close. I hope he meant it though.
And we've sort of spoke about we spoke a lot last season about the pressing and how it was sort of like selective pressing, and how, especially under Heckingbottom, how one player would be doing it, whereas it's more effective if you press as a team. We've seen a lot of instances of that in the first half.
Yeah, it worked, and it was Nisbet was closing down the keeper, and then that meant that they couldn't play it for the back. You had to punt it. We won the ball back again in midfield, and then we were attacking, and then that was the difference. And it happened another time. So that happened for the.
Doig.
It was Doig that done it.
For the second goal.
I don't even think. Was it for the second goal?
I think so. You sort of
There was one that was for the Gogic header, and there was another one for the Newell shot. And
yeah,
it was good though. Examples of no letting somebody just play in front of you. I know we were letting them have the ball sometimes, but now and again, like that press, it worked. Definitely.
Yeah.
And somebody that, like say, what was, I guess, like say, somebody that sort of done quite a lot of that pressing was Gogic. Stuart, what was your impressions of Gogic his first game?
Aye, he never had to do much because I didn't think that Kilmarnock were really, I wouldn't say that they were that great. And was that because we pressed them and what we're just talking about? I don't know. Maybe it was, when you're watching the TV, it's different for being there and you can see the movement. I always watch a player. Aye. If I'm interested to watch someone, I didn't watch the ball. I just watch him and see his runs. Like I used to play centre forward, so I sometimes look at the centre forward to see how he's running, the channels and whatever. But with Gogic, I would have watched him just to see what he was doing off the ball because, he could be marking somebody and putting him off and whatever. But what he done was great. So, as I say, I don't know how good he was.
There was a couple instances, but one in particular, like say, it's just a little thing that I noticed, and it's like, if he does that all the time, it's gonna help. So there was one instance where it was Porteous headed it out, and it went into a bit of empty space, and straight away Gogic ran down and closed down the Kilmarnock player that picked up the ball, and he didn't do anything. He just was there and posing himself, closing down, being awkward, and the guy had to stop, wait like 5-10 seconds, and then sort of played it backwards. One, that they're playing it backwards, but two, it gives that defence the extra 5 seconds to get back and get organised.
He's definitely there to break up the play. And as you say, if he's running into that space 5-10 yards,
even if it's just giving the defence that extra 5 seconds,
of course it is.
It's so valuable.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I noticed a couple of times you've seen sort of footage of Gogic really sort of screaming at people, already telling people where to be, what they should be doing with balls and things like that when they've made mistakes. So
that's good.
Already a leader, at his first competitive games. Great to see.
Good.
Allan and Newell I thought linked up well, especially in the first half and stuff. And then, like say, towards the end of the second half, there was a Gogic foul. Gogic was sort of playing it out, and then there was a great bit of block from Hanlon, and Doig picked up the loose ball. And then I wrote down here foul, but then when you see it back, it wasn't a foul, was it?
No, never a foul. The two of them just go for the ball, but Stuart thinks if anything, Doig was fouled.
Aye. It was 6.5 a dozen.
There was nothing in it. Shouldn't have nothing should have happened, but it did.
And then boom, bark, boom.
Yeah.
To be honest, I commend the defence because we've been giving everybody else, applauding the centre forwards, the midfield, and but we've never said much about defence. And to be honest, Kilmarnock never had, they weren't getting the chance to do anything. So I've got to say, well done to defence.
Yeah.
Because we've been leaking in, pretty soft goals last season, and apart from that free kick, I would say that the Hibs defence done well to stop Kilmarnock every time that they came up the park.
One thing, like I say, a lot of people were saying about how we need to replace this aging defence. Gray and McGregor both on the bench. So the starting defence, I wrote it down here. McGinn 29, Doig 18, Hanlon 30, and Porteous 21. An average age of 24.5 years for the defence. So much for an aging defence, eh?
Aye, well, you can't. I don't think you'll be able to play Doig all the time, but at that age, it would be great. But no, but let's. I think that the gaffers probably had a wee look at them and seen how he's got on. He's got on well, but I think if you're going to play an 18-year-old week in, week out.
But is he one of the players that could maybe benefit from the 5 sub rule? So like say, I know Lewis Stevenson came on to end the game. Like I say, obviously difficult coming on and playing in defence as a sub, but there was a few instances where Kilmarnock got crosses in past Louis, which was frustrating to see. which Doig had been quite solid before then. And I have to say credit to McGinn as well. I thought, okay, maybe didn't offer much going forward, but really solid defensively.
He's never really going to bring much going forward, is it? He's no a fancy right back or a fancy centre half. He's just kind of does his job, doesn't he?
Yeah, box to box. I didn't realise he was 29.
Aye.
So is he the oldest?
Hanlon, the old
No, sorry, out of the
McGinn.
McGinn brothers, is he the oldest, or is it Stevie?
I think the other one's older.
Stevie.
I'm not sure. I'm sure he's.
I
About
didn't
31,
realise he
32.
was 29.
But aye, I'm sure he's 32. I'm sure there was a rumour going about that we would maybe be signing him, which seemed to be nonsense.
Nah,
just
I
he's
think
been
he was
training with us.
Training with us.
And I was looking up, I think he's 32.
Right.
So aye. So like I said, we've kind of been hinting at the second half comes about, and one of the criticisms that when we got Jack Ross as the manager, speaking to Sunderland fans, one that we kind of got some feedback on to kind of read out in the podcast and stuff, said that he'll try and sit on leads. Can be a bit defensive at times when he's got a lead. And we come out in second half, and it seems to be pretty much, flat back four, Gogic in front, a flat four midfield, and then Nisbet a bit isolated up top. Maybe sort of trying to counteract what Kilmarnock are doing, and yes, they did change that sort of going further into the second half. But Dave, disappointing to see us, like say with the derby last season, not going for the kill.
Yeah, team were beating somebody 2-0 in the first half of that. I just want us to keep going. It's obviously working. There is maybe a time in the game where you're like, right, we'll kind of shut up shop, but maybe we're doing it too early. And I want to hammer teams.
Mm-hmm.
I find football, I want to be entertained, and obviously I want my team to win, but at the same time, I don't want to sit and watch a second half where we're not doing much. We're inviting pressure on, and they didn't really do much. Kilmarnock weren't very good. Was that because we were organised?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been, which is fine, fair enough, but it's not how I want my team to play football.
I mean, I think one of the things is you'd seen how effective Boyle had been up top, and then peeling it right for the second goal. But I mean, if you look at the average in possessions in between the 45th minute and 60th minute, he's so much deeper. And a player that's been that effective hurting the defence, why bring him deeper? And that's the fact that straight after the second half seems to be an instructional thing for him and Wright to be so much deeper.
Well, if you're actually going to change and get everybody to get behind the ball, you're actually just giving the opposition the ball. That's what you're doing. It's like like a game of fives. You just sit back and let them try to play around you. Now, I didn't like that. Same as Dave. I think that if you're beating somebody, which we were, I don't know what the possession was in the first half, but we were far more, I would say probably about 70-30 or 65-35 that we've had the possession against Kilmarnock first half. Why not go out there and get the next goal, make it 3, and when you're on 3, you're on easy street. We used to do that under some managers. Just play. If we scored 4 and they scored 3, that was it. We went for the jugular. But I didn't like sitting back because you're only, and it was only 2-1. I just didn't like. I don't know why he does it. And I told you earlier, we were watching at Sunderland till I die, and he was doing it there as well. And that's what the fans were saying. And you get caught out there. It's okay, we won. We got the 3 points, but what happens if Hanlon's deflection went in? The fans would have been going crazy. Luckily there was none there, but the fans would have been going nuts at that game.
Probably took a bit of pressure off the players that by, because we're that used to. Well, what was that stat that we just heard? 11
nine games last season.
9 games. Fans maybe would have been expecting that if we were in the stadium. Maybe would have made it a wee bit more nervy. That maybe would have transferred onto the park. So,
possibly.
Yep.
Aye.
So.
But is it encouraging to see, again, utilising the fact they've got more options with the subs? We did go one up top with Nisbet, and then in the 68th minute, Jack Ross has realised, right, this isn't working, and he brought Deutsch in and went 4-4-2 and went 2 up top.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did finish the game with 2 strikers.
Nisbet came off at the end.
Oh, did he?
Aye.
So right then. Aye, but he went when, that's what I meant, like the latter stages of the game.
Yeah.
Aye, because the ball kept on coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed a forward to hold it in. Because Nisbet was, he's not one of these players. He plays into channels. Deutsch, he holds it up, and he was actually doing it. He was putting, he's putting his weight and his height about, and that was the difference when he came on. You know, he was muscling out the defenders where Nisbet needed a hand.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another thing. You know, if you're up front, you don't want to be up front and isolated.
Yeah.
And then the midfielder now having to lie back near the defenders. You know, so then you're really isolated, and that's what happens in a game like that. We could have lost 2 points just because the way he changed it. And
he did say that he wanted to be more in control of the match. That's what he said after the match. He was like, I wish we were more in control. Some games that's not going to happen. You're playing against a good Kilmarnock team. I didn't think Kilmarnock were that good.
No.
They're obviously very organised, and maybe we did do well to go 2-0 up. Fair play. Like, you can't take anything away from what we've done because we won the game, but it's just all like that kind of ifs and buts, and hope a pattern doesn't emerge that when we do take a lead that we sit in it, because you will lose leads if you do that.
Do you think this 5 subs could benefit? Like, maybe this is me just out of being biased, but I think we've got a very good tactical minded manager, a very clever manager in terms of tactics. And we've got a very fluid team in terms of, like, say, the personnel and how they can all play different positions. Do you think the 5 subs will benefit and maybe reward better managers?
Definite, because the last time we had a chat, how many I pointed out that we had 9-10 players that could actually come in. They were first team players. I'm not saying that they're all, you know, if there's 13 or 14, well, there'll be 16. I'm just trying to think now. How many are you talking about?
We've got a good squad, like, say, not the biggest squad, but we've got players there that are eligible to say I'm in contention.
Sometimes that you can have, say, 20 players, and there's maybe 4 youngsters out of that, so you've got 16. So, but I still think out the players I put on that list, you could probably make another side easily. So if we can put 5 subs on, it's going to help us, because we've got you've got Stevenson, McGregor, who else was
Gray, Doidge, Gullen, Halberg, who came on.
Aye.
So Josh Campbell, who's been getting a lot of praise. There's a lot of options, Dave.
Yeah, the bench was pretty decent, and I think the 5 probably will help him, because I've no doubt that Jack Ross, he'd be able to sit me down in 5 minutes, in less than 5 minutes, and tell me why I'm wrong. Everything he's doing it, and I'd go, alright, okay, no worries. Do you know what I mean? He obviously knows what he's doing,
but
he's obviously doing it for a reason.
Did Hecky no have the gift of the gab as well,
though? I think it's different,
because there was a couple of times where he came up with stuff and I was like, oh, okay, I get that, like, okay, and then it's like, wait a minute.
Aye, but if you've got a reason for doing something, like, they're obviously ken what they're talking about, good proper football people, they're making tactical decisions, then what are you laughing at?
No, just proper. I don't know if that was a dig at our old manager or not.
No, not at all. Listen, we're not going to Heckenbottom. Leave it. I've fed up with talking about him. He's had his chance. Go back to episode 88 or something.
What was the thing? There's one of them that was.
If you want to hear that,
Hecky performing a U-turn ? No was the answer to that.
Yes, no.
And final question here in regards to this game: should Boyle have had a hat trick?
I thought it was a half a chance. The one that he tried to chip over the keeper.
Aye.
Nah,
great ball for Noel though.
Oh, fantastic! But I don't think it was a chance.
Dave.
Half to 3/4 chance. I'll say it's a bit more than a half chance. He maybe could have squared it. He could maybe done a bit better with it, but oh well.
Listen, Gav, if we had told Dave to go and Dave's like to go to the toilet or something, get out the bar or go and just look at the sun or something, when he went through with that ball, we would have scored, because he missed the 2 goals. Did he tell you that?
I missed the 2 of them.
Aye.
Well, the first goal we'd been mucking about with Hibs TV with the different links, and we didn't get the link on in time. And then I don't think it was in today with the performance of Hibs TV. I think it was just us. We'd been mucking about that much, and then so I missed that. And then I went in. What did I went in for a pish, didn't I?
Aye, that's right. You went
away.
away.
I came back, and then Stevens
slide along the artificial grass
on his knees and that, and I'm like, very good. I thought he was winding me up. I went back in and looked at the telly, and it still said 1-0. Don't know why it didn't update straight away.
Aye, didn't it?
And then I'm like, it's only 1-0. I was like, I knew you were kidding. He's like, no, it's 2. And then he showed me his phone, and then it changed.
Alright.
I've fucking seen Chris Burt put one in tap corner though. Fucking shock horror.
So like I say, the majority of the talk coming out of this, I think Chris Commons, because he's got so much right to be speaking about Hibs. Anyway, that's another topic. He's been coming out and saying that Celtic and Rangers should both be going for Martin Boyle. Do you think? I mean, the transfer window's open till October. Do you think performances like this are only going to, bit of an obvious question, but are only going to intensify interest in him?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we've any chance of him staying.
Do you think, so I don't know when the transfer window shuts, but saying it's like a random date, 17th of November, is Martin Boyle going to be a Hibs player?
I don't think so. He got interviewed, and the way he was chatting now, I think we Boiler, he's that positive laddie, and the way he chats, I just think that if he was staying at Hibs, he would have told us there and then. I think there's something ready and possible signing somewhere, and there's probably 2 or 3 teams. I would imagine there'll be a couple of teams down south as well. I'd rather him go down there rather than because he wouldn't go to Rangers, would he? Think so?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, like say we say that, but like say what why not?
I think if there's anything, it'd be Celtic.
Don't know. He's for Dundee, isn't he? So I don't think he'll give Aberdeen. I don't think he'll give a shit, if I'm being honest. What team? I hope he doesn't go to one of the old firm.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to go anywhere. I want him to stay. I think he's exciting. He brings everything that I want. Like we spark, it's entertaining watching him.
Aye.
So I really hope he stays. But I don't think he'll.
Another thing, he leads the changing room.
No,
that's someone
seems
that
very influential off the pitch. Yeah,
and I think if he goes, I think there'd be a wee bit of a void there. That because I think the guys, everybody talks. If you get any Hibs, if they put on their website and they're getting interviewed and they ask questions, everybody talks about Boiler.
Yeah,
because he's just off his head, and to miss him in the changing room, I think it would be a wee. Who would take up? Because we had Cummins before. Imagine Cummins and Boyle at the same time. God, mental.
They were daft together. I'd say that a couple of things they've done, like say with that Hibs TV and stuff at the time, was nuts. I think Boyle. I mean, we said this on a podcast a few weeks ago. It's frustrating that you see a player come in, and let's be honest, he was a heedless chicken when he came in on loan for Dundee. We're like, Christ, what's this? And I guess maybe good enough for the Championship, and then you've seen him. He obviously listens to his coaches. He puts in the effort in the training. He's taken everything on board. He's had injuries, which he's not just sat on his arse and just been like, "Oh, I'm injured." He's obviously used that time to continue to learn and improve his mental side of the game, and now you're seeing that sort of finished product, and it's like, well, Hibs can't get that finished product. We've got to cash in on that. And it's frustrating. Like say, ideal world, we give him a new 4-year contract and he sees out his career at Hibs, but that's not the life of a Hibs fan, unfortunately.
You got to remember though, he did sign an extra. No, he put an extension of 2 years on his contract the last time to help Hibs. So I don't think he can do it now. I think he's moved on to another level.
Aye. To be fair, he wasn't at a good enough level to go anywhere when he signed that new contract. I don't think so. I think it probably helped him just as much as it has helped us. And do you think Hibs have offered him a new deal, or will offer him, or do you think we want to cash in now?
I think Hibs would want to offer him a deal, but at the same time, I don't know. I think
we'll be scared to offer him a big deal just in case, because then you might not get that sell-on fee. I'd prefer them to have another year on, because that would up his price quite a bit. But the fact that his contract
more
runs
likely
out
to have
next
interest
summer.
in him.
We question what happens if John McGinn gets sold on from Villa and we get a wee bit of cash. Do they give him Boyle an incentive? Do they give him a wee cash, $250,000, over 2 seasons, a fee and a good wage, or a highest earner? Or
a Hibs a business where they kind of go, yeah, okay, we've just got $3 million for the McGinn for selling on him. We can now get another $1.5 million for selling on Boyle. And there's $4.5 million that we didn't have.
Yeah, and they'll fucking build an indoor training pitch or something.
Aye, but
hey, that would be handy.
That's the way.
Would it?
Aye,
for who?
The team.
No, they play outside, train outside.
Keep them hard in the cold,
I know,
rather than getting a big
an
gym.
indoor training pitch for for youngsters coming through. But how often do the youngsters come through?
It's times that, like say, when the bad weather in Scotland, you can't train. You have that.
Gavin,
365 years.
Yeah,
anyway,
not having it.
Put their gloves on and whatever they want.
Yeah. So So like I say, I'll ask that question again. That's after a brief discussion about that. Boyle, will he be here on the 17th of November?
It's November.
I thought it was October.
I thought it was October.
I know, I'm just picking a random date past that because I don't know exactly when it is.
Will he be here on January the 1st? Come on.
I'll go for that then, January 1st.
No, surely not a January Monday.
No.
I don't know.
They surely scrapped that.
I think it's October. But
surely they can't then. I know we're moving on for your question, Gav, but I want to talk about this.
Right.
Can he have October one day, or finish in October then start another? But he'll not be here now. There you go.
Do you not think they can do that? Do you know they can have a January window as well as the
No,
closing?
man, because then we're just half the season. Your players can just leave.
It would only be shut for what, 6 weeks?
Aye, and then it's open again for another 4 weeks.
10 weeks.
I don't think they'll do it.
Bad
I think
maths.
they'll maybe scrap the January this year.
I don't
next
know.
year.
They've probably already decided what they're doing.
Don't know.
We just haven't looked up,
Aye.
innit?
Anyway,
Just
my
don't care.
answer is I don't think he'll be here. I think he'll be off, and I don't like to say that, but I think he'll be away.
Blind optimism, aye. Why no? He'll still be
Right.
here. He's going to sign a new 4-year deal. Why no?
Right, right. We'll hold you to it.
So it's a great start to the season. Want to make it a better start to the season, and better way to do that than make it 2 wins out of 2. Opportunity against Livingston, always a tough place to go, especially with the artificial grass, Stuart.
Ah, rubbish. I keep on saying it. Premiership teams shouldn't be playing in plastic crap. And then they just boot the ball. I hate that park. I really do, as you can hear in my voice.
Does that give Livy an advantage?
Yes, it does. They've said it does. Marvin Bartley said it does, but nothing you can do about it. It's there. It shouldn't be there. I'm the same as Stuart. Shouldn't have been the Prem, but it is. But Livy's it's fucking a shite place to go, and it's a really rubbish away game to have when fans can't be there, because there's always the Hibs fans outnumber Livy fans by a good couple of thousand. It was a really good away day last time we went, because the Old Firm was on in mind.
Yeah.
Livingston are very good at being quite hospitable, because they want you in to spend your money. No problem with that. That's how football clubs should be. Clever. So like 3,000 Hibs fans were all sitting here
That was brilliant.
a pie and watching the football in at Livy Stadium.
There was no space, and you were using my Paul Teed as a place to put your pint.
Yes, I was. You're a nice height for me and everything, Gav. You're a nice height for me. So it's local. It's right here. I mean, I could have finished. I could have had a half day at work and went out the road and watched it. We always play shite there, so I don't know why I'm that bored. But but they play to no fans anyway, so it'll not be any different to them playing at home behind closed doors. Won't mean anything.
Our last game was sort of between Christmas and New Year, and that was a horrendous game.
Freezing cold.
Poor performance. Really scrappy, and Livingston punished us that day.
Listen, if that's the type of players that you've got to play that way. And Hibs, or any team, doesn't matter being Hibs, any team should know that now. You know, we've been found out, and so have Rangers, and so have Celtic, so and so have Hearts. Guys, they've got hammered. So I didn't understand it, how teams go there, and that was my wee question earlier. Are Hibs going to change their formation and the way that they're going to play? Is the gaffer going to do that to play against Livingston?
Potentially, maybe like say starting Doige, maybe some more. It's not his strength, but like say he's tall, so you could do it, play long balls towards them, which is not ideal. But maybe you do have to change the way you play on that pitch. And
do you miss out midfield?
Maybe,
because listen, is Scott Allan is too. He's a lot better than any of the Livingston players. I'm not fussy what you say, and I'm not being just I'm not just saying it because I'm a Hibby. But does he play in that type of game? Do you want somebody that'll be in there with Gogic and fight for every ball and maybe just play, because they can all play the ball through, but are you going to play Scotty Allan there that it picks out these wee passes, and it's not very great to play that wee ball through on a plastic pitch and then somebody comes in and clatters them, because that's the type of players that they've got. And I just think that do you maybe not play Scotty Allan?
Yeah, maybe. Dave, would you start
him? Depends. I probably would, because I think he's our best chance creator. If Scott Allan's playing really well, it's difficult, because it's just the way the ball bounces and that on it. But if you're getting the ball down and playing, it is all about way to pass on artificial grass. You need to put a wee bit more on it, especially if it is drier. A football team should be able to pass it all about, like, especially with probably training it. There is some days we should be training on a lead up to a game on a plastic pitch to get used to it. But I would start him just because he's one of our better players. But I know what you mean. The logic will be in who can play best against what Livingston are putting up.
So looking at Livingston, the business they done, I mean, a couple of players out for them. Chris Erskine, who's a good player for them, but it's only went to East Kilbride, so I think he's probably coming towards the end of his career. Stephen Lawson, who's a big who's a big player for them. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat there. And like I say, Lammy, who's went to Motherwell, decent defender. They've brought in McCrory, the goalkeeper from Rangers, back in again, and a good defender in Brown at the back. A couple other ones. Alan Forrest, a wide player to potentially sort of replace Lawless leaving. And like I say, the forward for Queen's Park, who, should I really attempt his name?
No.
No, I shouldn't. It's a risky one. And a forward from another forward as well. So a couple of players in there. So what was my question going to be? But it's the best business they've done, keeping a hold of Allan Dykes so far.
Yeah, it is so far. I can see him going as well.
We're speaking about Boyle potentially leaving. Did you see Dykes away before the window shuts?
Yeah, I think there'll be somebody in there for them. I think it's maybe Livingston that are delaying it because they're asking for too much. You know, they're
Are they asking for too much though?
Aye.
But I mean, like, if he's going to keep them in the Premier League, are they asking for too much?
Do you think
$2.5 million?
I think he's had one good season.
Right,
he played with Queen of the South, and I told you I've told you all about him before. I used to see him, week in, week out, because my son-in-law played with Queen of the South at the same time, and I think he's just had one good season. And I hope he doesn't come back and bite my arse, but I don't rate him.
He scored 2 at the weekend, didn't he?
Aye.
No, they got beat.
They got beat.
He's gone. He scored 2.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Against us because of him.
Aye.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
This will be clipped, and this will be viral.
This will turn up in the Top Livy podcast next week.
Honestly, I don't think he's that great. But he's not worth £1 million.
I think they're 2.5. They were looking
Was it
for.
they're having their fucking laugh. £2.5 million. So what's Boyle worth?
Well, he's got 2 years left in his contract though. Boyle's got 1.
So 1.5 years, and he's not getting what Boyle's getting.
Just
No,
ask. You can ask for something. You're not going to get it.
Aye.
Simple as that. Livy are not going to get $2.5 million.
Yeah, aye. So I asked for that and then settle for 1.5. But looking at Livy, the performances and things like that, I was asking my friend how they'd been getting on, and he sort of messaged me halfway through the game, being like, "Gav, we are really, really, really bad today." And then after the game, he put, "That was the worst performance since Holt came in. Dykes was anonymous, back four all over the place. Ambrose was honking, Sibs off injured. But it's cool, it's just Hibs, Motherwell and Rangers coming up." So not a good start to the season for them, losing to St Mirren and then having those games coming up, Dave.
Yeah, it's not very easy, is it? But get up them. I've still got a hang against Livy.
Aye.
Aye. Mind they beat us in the CIS. So I had a grudge and I've not forgot it, so I don't like them. So I don't care if they're meant to be my local team. Don't like them. I know you like them too. It annoys me. Gav, you've got a wee soft spot for them.
I do. So a bit of background here. I used to work in care.
That winds me up.
I used to work in care, and there was a guy that supported to the Livy games.
Oh, don't make me feel bad. It was nothing to do with that.
That's what it was. So I was at the Livy game. So like I say, I don't like Livy. I just I like to see them do well for him. I like the fact that they're back in the Premier League and a stable Premier League club.
I used to go a lot of the games because of Kyle, but it was like I just didn't like the club because they've got a shitty support, they've got a shitty park. I just can't get my head around it.
They've got a good podcast. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. They've got a good podcast. Stand up for a fellow podcast. They've got a cracking podcast. One of the things that my mate said there was about Effie being honking. Dave, should we still have signed him?
100%. I sounded like Stephen there. That's what he says. 100%.
I think I don't think we've missed it. He was good.
Should we have signed a player that was going to be our player of the year again? Yes.
I don't know.
We've had this discussion.
discussions
Go back
past.
and listen to podcast 98.
I
We
don't.
should get a journal made up with like a content.
We've already talked about that. Score it off.
Aye. No, I didn't think Effie. I think Effie's another year older. He's playing on that hard park, and that'll hurt him. I don't think he'll be able to play all season. And as I say, I don't know what age he is, but he's getting a lot older. And Big Bartley was on a pod or something on Facebook anyway. I seen it, and he was slagging his hair. His hair's falling out everywhere, he says. So he must be getting really old. But no, I wouldn't have had him back. He done his bit with Hibs. He done his bit.
And a player that done really well for Livingston last season, and now been given the captaincy, Marvin Bartley. Like I say, I think we have replaced him, but Gogic versus Bartley could be an interesting battle.
Aye, I think, and it's going to be hard to watch that because we're not going to get that on the TV. But if you were at the game, you'd be able to watch. This cat's giving me the eye. The devil.
Aye, cat's on the table now, so he's lying down in front of
there you go. Aye, he's lying down beside me.
So it could be a good battle though.
It will be, and I think Big Marv will be trying to prove that you shouldn't have got rid of me, but I still think that Gogic will be. What age is Gogic anyway? Do you know?
Don't know. I could check that now. But and like I say, another sort of battle like we've seen in the past. Like I say, I always remember when Scott Allan went down for that penalty and Bartley wasn't happy with it. Sort of, if he does play Allan in that 10 position and then up against Bartley, they know each other well, could be an interesting battle.
Yeah, definitely could be. Bartley's not to prove though. He's already proved that we shouldn't have got rid of him. Tam McManus said it on Hibs TV. He was that they should never have got rid of Bartley. But we've eventually got somebody that can
in that mould.
Going to fill the void there.
26, yes.
He's 26.
Aye.
Aye.
Still got standing on him. So
I still think that Gogic. I think he'll love that. He'll love that we fight with Marv.
It'll be an interesting one to watch.
It'll be good. It'd have actually been good to be at the game to watch what's going on and off the park. When on and off the ball. But we'll not get to see it because the camera will be following the ball as usual.
So score predictions for the game.
I hate playing there. We're always pretty bad, but will I be optimistic this time? 1-0 Hibs.
Stuart?
I'm going to be very optimistic, and I think we're going to beat them 2-0.
I was a nice one, positive, and got the correct result last week. So I'm going to go 1-1. Be the pessimistic one. I think it'll be a bit of a battle, but we'll see what comes out of it. So 1-1. Hi folks, just a quick message to say we're really excited about our new partnership with the 12th Man. If you want to find out more about the new home of fan media, head over to 12thmanmedia.com. So to finish up today, I thought we'd have a wee update with the fantasy football, Scottish fantasy football. Like I say, I have looked at the Hibs Top League. 616 people signed up so far, so thanks for that. It's good to see, good numbers. Looking at the top of the league, Michael Linton, Ticky Plays is top, and Robert's Baldy Boys are in second place, no far behind them. And Stephen Johnson's in third with Saint Etienne. So quite top at the top, quite tight at the top after 1 week. What you say?
Just laughing at you trying to say the names and
I'm having
place.
I'm having them, yeah.
It's like McGeoch again.
But how did you guys get on this weekend with the fantasy football?
I done no bad, mate. I put my team in the group chat on the Friday night, and I had Nicky Clark up top, and I had Frimpong in, and I turned the two of them out Saturday morning. So I shouldn't have. No. But that's the only thing I done wrong.
I had a bigger mare than that though. On Friday I looked at my team and I had Edward as captain, and I thought Edward's a lot of money. My midfield's quite weak, so I took him out and I strengthened up my midfield, and I went for Shankland and Nisbet. I took Gogic as well, and I went for Shankland and Nisbet up top, and neither of them scored. Nisbet did get an assist, which was fine, but obviously Edward scored a hat-trick. Everyone had Edward as captain, so I have a bit of an egg on my face. Apparently he's really good on the first game of the season. Apparently he scored 2 on the opening game last season. He scored the game before that. It's like 3 seasons in a row he scored on the first game of the season. So
I think you got 75 points though, and you didn't have Edward.
Aye, so that, I've done really well apart from Edward.
If you had Edward, you would I think the highest, you would have got near the highest points in the.
Aye, but then I wouldn't have had Boyle.
True.
So then so Boyle we say was in my team because
Yeah,
take
you
about
got-
another 26 points off of him.
You done not too bad then.
Ah,
You
it's
can't really
good.
grumble.
Yeah, just sort of rubbish with that.
It was a kick, a toss up between Edward and Boyle for me, and I took Edward and put him captain. So that's got me because I was lying away at the bottom. So I'm now, I've jumped up to 304th.
Alright, halfway, mate. You're like Hibs mid-table.
304th. But
I
no,
can
but
get
we've
used to-
got one. We've got a Hibs talk one for all the boys. So I'm mid division again. I'm 6 out of 10. So I loved you though. You were telling everybody that you're the champion.
Aye, my name's
Tell-
after the a lot of folk won't get, but like say I don't know if you've heard of the wrestler Chris Jericho. He's got a really good gimmick in AEW, the new company, Le Champion. And like 'cause he's French and things like that. Because he's not French, he's just an arse. So I kind of thought I'll name my team Le Champion, and it'll look really good when I'm top of the league. And it looked great on Saturday night. Sunday didn't look so good.
You tell everybody where you are. You're second last.
Aye, I went from top to last. So aye, hopefully that's not like Hibs this season going from top to last. But I think a good run of games Hibs. Like I say, Livingston, I know I've said 1-1, but there's an opportunity for a good result there, and then we've got a few good games after that where we could pick up some results, I think. So there's an opportunity for a really strong start, and then sort of take it from there. So like I say, if you haven't joined the Hibs Talk League, do it. Like I say, just if you're already signed up to the Fantasy Football Scotland, great. Just sort of go to the leagues, scroll down there, or sort of join the app. It's great to have fantasy football for Scotland. I'm just been bored of doing it for England last year, so this is really fresh and really exciting to do it for Scotland. So a good Scottish app with that. So check that out. So what you guys got planned for the rest of the week?
Going home, get my dinner, and then I'm going to watch the Motherwell game.
Should be a good game tonight. I'm interested to see how Motherwell. They've got a few new signings. I'm interested to see how they set up. So yeah, interested in Motherwell. They've been quite busy. So a bit interesting one. What about yourself, Dave?
I'm going to him to watch that too.
Aye.
I was talking about it today at work. Get a few of the boys from my work are going to him and watch it as well. It's just like that way that says there's football on the telly again, Scottish football. Then like I say, I much prefer Scottish football to anything else. It's quite passionate about it. So I watch that. Hopefully it's a decent game. And then what else am I doing? Absolute hee-haw. No plans.
No.
How about you?
The only thing is where so the way my week once a month I've got a 6-day week, and I looked at this week this month and I was like, I can't be bored with that. So I put in for annual leave for Friday, so I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Becca turned around and was like, I'm off Friday as well. So we're both off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're talking about maybe going away for a 2 nights somewhere. But we're not sure. We'll wait and see. The thing is, so like I'm kind of hoping that the longer that it goes on, it doesn't get booked. I'm like, I can watch the Hibs game a lot more easily if I'm not away somewhere. So the Hibs game would be my preference, but I'll see if she turns around and goes, I've booked it, I'll be like, damn, I'll have to hopefully wherever we go has decent internet. But
So you're not coming along to the pub?
well, if she forgets about it, then
if she forgets about it, right?
It
Okay.
doesn't book anything. We've not booked anything. It's too late now. Never mind. We'll do something in a couple of months, and I'll just have to go to Stuart's and watch the football and get nice and drunk.
Aye, well, we'll have to. Didn't let her listen to this when you're
She
recording
doesn't
it.
love me that much. She doesn't listen to the podcast. But yeah. So we'll finish up there, folks. Follow us at HFC Talk. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. Check out hibstalk.com for more content and all the other podcasts and articles and stuff, and a couple of YouTube videos up there. I'm gonna. This was done a month ago, but I was quite pleased with that top 10 goals of the decade video, and it never got many views. So go check it out because I like it. So go check that out as well. That's on YouTube and on hibstalk.com. So enjoy the rest of your week, folks. Enjoy the game on Saturday. It's just great to have Hibs back. Cheers.
Right, catch you later.
Cheers.